do 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 aloha aloha. Oh baby, oh where you gonna go? Ah yeah 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 yeah. So, hello everybody. We had a wonderful Monday. Hope it wasn't too crazy like they usually are. Mine wasn't too bad for once. I actually have a little bit of energy left over, and I'm pleased to hear that. So I did a little bit of a survey because the general questioning on my community page on YouTube was kind of inconclusive. Everything came out to a tie, and I noticed that the sovereign just slightly edged out the mirror, and so this is my baby. This hilt measures in at just under. Well, actually, it's about 11 and a 16th inches long from this part here to the end here. And this saber is turned out to be, well, let me tell you, this was an impulse buy. This was one of those things where I went into the Facebook market pages, well, not the market pages, but the pages for sellers of sabers and hilts. And I saw this one listed along with another saber that sold pretty quickly, and this one kind of lingered for a bit. And I just, every time I went back and looked at it, there was just something about it. I'd heard so much about the Sovereign, and I was really itching to get a Vader's Vault hilt that actually had a smooth swing CFX, but I wasn't necessarily looking for NeoPixel. I don't. My sabers don't all have to be NeoPixel. They can be in-hilt LED, and I love them just as much as any of my sabers, which is the case with the Sovereign hilt. The Sovereign, this one actually is just equipped with it's just base lit, and right now it has a 32-inch thin-walled trans-weight blade that I got from Vader's Vault specifically for this hilt. And let me tell you, the balance on this thing is exceptional. It's actually right there. It's kind of hard to balance it, this little phalange bit on my finger, because it's just a little bit to this side of it, and it'd be like around right there. And it's a very, very lightweight hilt. I don't know exactly what the weight of it is. Now, one of the things that was sort of initially difficult for me was all of this mishmash in here, where the thin neck kind of, has this plate in the middle, and then these wires, this very, very kind of a steampunk kind of look, where it connects like this section to this section, as if, if you didn't have these wires, something wouldn't work quite right, some cooling system or whatnot. And then, of course, this issue, the design up here wasn't so much an issue, it was just in here. And I had a heavier blade on here. I had a dueling blade. I had a Vader's Vault dueling blade. And when you swing this thing around, this really would grind into your hand. But let me tell you, I have not put this thing down since I got it. And once I put this blade in here, it handles like a dream. And I'm starting to get actually even good at not inadvertently activating the spectrum rather of the CFX board, because you've got your auxiliary switch and then the main switch right next to each other. So it's easy if you're swinging it to just inadvertently kind of roll your hands over these buttons. Before you know it, you're in spectrum mode. You've got to turn that off. But I've gotten to the point where I can pretty much handle the saber choking up like this with very little discomfort, and it's all due to this blade. This blade was the key to making this thing just one of the most comfortable. I don't know how it happened, but this became one of the most comfortable sabers that I own. And this is the one that actually feels the most like an actual saber in my hand, which it's a ridiculous thing to say. I mean, I have so many sabers that I love. Um, I would have to say that probably my Electrum Sabercrafts Aurora and this saber are two of the ones that really, to me, feel like that would be, what someone would put together as a saber, if such things actually existed. So I will give you some close-up shots at the end of this video, but I do want to, some better quality, camera angle shots. But the venting is right here. See these little holes, and a Vader's Vault hilt is actually usually smaller than most hilts by most companies, so the speaker is actually a little bit smaller than what you would expect, and due to the venting, it's not the loudest saber ever, and it's about time I turn this thing on or someone's gonna lose their mind.
Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
Okay, so right now this is set to I believe it's K-Sith's Qui Gon, and this comes with a question. Okay, here's the main force effects, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, does anybody know what that is? I have one Sith's Qui-Gon sound font on another hilt, and it has the same sound. So it's definitely something from the movie, something from the Phantom Menace, but I have no idea what it is. Now, this sound font isn't terribly loud. I've got this thing set to maximum volume right now. Actually, I may not.
Sound bank selection.
Not must. Fracture connected next door.
Audio SD card US system menu. Volume. Volume. Volume.
That's maximum volume.
Sound bank selection. Volume. Blade power. Color profile. Previous menu. System menu. Exit menu.
The negotiations will be short.
Okay. So this is not the sound font that I usually keep this saber on.
The negotiations will be short.
Sound bank selection.
Hello.
Like
Temple Cyber Assassin.
Now this is Cyber Assassin by Blue Force Sound Fonts. This is my go-to sound font for this particular hilt. And I believe I demoed this. So this is a good fit as far as I'm concerned. So you've got a combination of an almost Suba-esque style, emitter piece here. With the little dimples on the end, I like that. The windows, of course. Are what really makes this thing shine. Literally. And then, of course, the whole section where the thin neck is, like I said, it has like a complete steampunk vibe. Then you get to this, the switch section is very mechanically oriented. And I like the way it has this lip here. And it also has these very sort of Graphics reminiscent groove sections here, which culminate in a plate. And then there's another plate here, which you can see, which usually would house the OLED screen if you got yourself a Sovereign Elite. Now this is just the regular old Sovereign without all the detail. The Sovereign Elite has all of this picked out in black. All this is picked out in black in here, and these little details. picked out in black. In here is gold. In here is gold, and just you know, the wires are different colors. Plus it's kind of a more chromy finish. But the regular Sovereign just has this sort of, I don't know, it's like a brushed aluminum, and it has a bit of light weathering, and it just has this real world kind of feel. Like, I feel like if this was the Sovereign Elite, and don't get me wrong, I'd love to own a Sovereign Elite. At some point, I probably will pick one up. That's how much I love this hilt. It has this kind of simple sort of utilitarian kind of feel to it, and I don't know. I like it without all the extra details. I mean, it has all the sculpting to it. Like I said, it has all these little cutaway sections here, which you can see as I turn it. And then you have this beautiful grill section here, which is very comfortable in the hand. This thing is, generally you can hold this down here. This is very tactile, very grippy. Up here it's very grippy. So this is a really, really good, really amazing two-handed hilt. But one-handed is, you know, obviously no issues at all. As long as you don't have a blade that weighs like 3,000 pounds. And then you have just a really, really fetchingly designed pommel here. I mean, there's just so many different details going into this thing. At the same time, it's madness, but it's also subtle. And what I really like is it has a sort of a custom CoverTech wheel that's sort of cut out specifically to fit into this area, with a, you know, where it attaches. If you can see it, it's kind of off to one side of the CoverTech. So it's a very unique CoverTech. Now let me show you the chassis system. I think I showed you guys this when I first got this thing. This section here, it's all just kind of one piece. It's like one solid piece, so I don't have to worry about anything coming apart. And again, the chassis, the way this works, you have a rice port if you don't want to take anything, you know, apart, and you want to access you know, the settings of the hilt. You can connect this to your computer via the USB cable. I don't exactly know what type. I have one, and that's a little bit on the complex side. I haven't done anything with it really other than to take a look at it. But to gain access to the battery, you actually want to unscrew the end, and then you just kind of roll the battery out of the chassis. And then if you look right in here, right above the little there's actually a little port there. Right above that is your micro SD card, which is deeply recessed into the hilt. So you pop that out, and you have to, I think you're pretty much required to deal with the sound phones the old-fashioned way, which is to access the micro SD card and install them manually. And as always, you want to make sure that you put the battery back into the hilt the way it came out. In this case, positive goes towards the soundboard, and there's nothing in here that marks what's positive and negative, so you really have to be very cognizant of what you're doing. So in order to get this back in, you kind of have to pop it past this little part right here, and then you just sort of tighten it, not all the way, just until pretty much you hear it turn on, and you can go like this and you're not hearing the battery flopping around. It's really a very ingenious system. The chassis system on these Vader's Vault hilts, it's just, if they're all like this, then yeah, it's really something special. So let me just show you one other sound font. Everyone's liking my comments on Zach's latest video, which I have to finish watching after this.
Sound bank selection.
Cyber Assassin Photon Blade. Cyber Temple Guardian.
And there you have it. So what more can I say about the Vader's Vault Sovereign? This thing's become the love of my life. This is my honest to goodness sidearm of choice. I like I said, I still have a good dozen or two sabers that I love to bits, but this one just has hit me in the feels. This thing is just it's just a stunning piece of work, and yeah, everything I've heard about it was true. Anyway, so yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I don't want to keep going on and on and on. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna show you some glamour shots of this, and that pretty much does it. So hope you enjoyed this review of the Vader's Vault Sovereign. If you have any questions you want to hit me up in the comments, please go ahead and do that. It'd be really great if you could like this video and subscribe, possibly share it if you're inclined to. Amazingly enough, there's not too many reviews of this hilt on YouTube. This is going to be one of the few, and most of the reviews that you're going to see will be of very, very ornate, fancy schmancy, really, really kitted out sovereigns. Not one that's kind of simple like this. But like I said, if you're looking for a deal, just keep an eye on the Facebook groups, the marketplace, even eBay. You never know what you're going to come across. I never expected to come across this and get it for the price that I got it at. I got a really good bargain. So that is to say that I did not buy this from Vader's Vault. So if you write to me and you ask me how long did it take Vader's Vault to make it and send it, and blah 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 blah, all that's irrelevant. This took less than a week to get from another person who obviously I don't know, just couldn't keep it for whatever reason, or it just wasn't his jam. But he did all the waiting, and I didn't have to. So anyway, yeah, that pretty much ends this video. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week, and as always, may the force be with you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, and you take care. See you later. Bye.